Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you might be watching this. I hope you're doing well. This is Colton Dean for House District 19, deanfor19@gmail.com. I happen to be in Santa Fe today for some other business, and I thought I'd stop by our roundhouse, do a quick video out on the steps. Wanted to make a few comments about gun violence. A couple days ago there was a shooting at Washington Middle School in Albuquerque. One student died, another taken into custody. And I honestly don't know what can be said that hasn't been already, said 1,000 times already. I was a sophomore in high school when Columbine happened, and I remember that seemed like the worst thing that could possibly happen. And in the 22 years since, unfortunately, we have realized that was just the beginning, and nothing is changing. While in high school, we were among the first to start having drills where the principal would come on the PA system and say a code word, and that was the indication for the teachers to lock the doors, turn off the lights, cover the windows. And to my knowledge, I think there was one incident where we thought it was just a drill, and then it turned out there was someone with a gun on campus, and fortunately no one was hurt. But that was 22 years ago. And what's really painful is when the shooting happened on Friday and the news was breaking. Like, we didn't know how many people were shot. We didn't know how many students were in danger. There was already comments in the news articles rushing to, don't blame the gun, don't blame the gun. That is frankly wicked. When you hear about a shooting at a middle school and your first concern is the safety of guns. My contention with these gun enthusiasts is that they don't really believe the Second Amendment. They believe the last line of the Second Amendment, the shall not be infringed part. And they completely forget the first part, well-regulated militia. When the founders wrote the Second Amendment, we didn't have a standing army. It was expected upon people to maintain their own arms and to come forward if called into duty. That didn't work out so great, so we formed the army. And that's fine if we want to retain rights for people to own guns, but we forget the well-regulated part. Do these people know how to safely keep their guns? Because obviously this teenager was able to obtain one somehow, and though we may not be able to prevent violence, who's going to be held responsible? And it's unfortunate that we have this illusion of only two options, of like do nothing or complete, repeal, which, I think if we just follow what the Second Amendment says, well-regulation, we can find some kind of middle ground where responsible people can keep their guns and responsibility and consequences are imposed upon people who let their guns fall into criminal hands. You know, when a firearm leaves a factory, it doesn't get dumped into a criminal's hands. It is legally sold to a firearms dealer. It is legally purchased, you know, except in those rare cases of robbery. But even in that situation, who can be held responsible if that firearm falls into the wrong hands? My suggestion is that every firearm has someone responsible for it, from the moment it leaves the factory until it is melted down as scrap metal. That could be years, it could be decades. But if a gun is found used in a crime, who is the last person to be held accountable for that weapon? Because obviously they didn't secure it. Obviously they didn't take steps to report it missing. And that's not prohibiting the right of gun ownership. That is expecting responsibility. Nothing we can do can bring that student back that was killed on Friday. Nothing can be done to bring back thousands that are killed every year. But we can expect more responsibility from the gun community. And that's all. Have a good day.